Hey, and welcome back to my channel. The cat is here. This is the cat that always makes his way into my videos if you are new here. Like that. But if you are new here, this is a channel where I talk about my houseplants and do different DIYs that go along with that. So if that interests you, just before this video even starts, just hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And if you are a recurring viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video with us. Today is going to be a spring cleaning type of video. So if you are not new here, you might recognize this. Well, actually, both of these. This used to be in my office and it was my backdrop for the longest time. This was my very original backdrop, along with cat's tail, but it was far more filled with plants than it is now. And so we're doing a bit of a spring cleaning. I want to get this shelving unit out. I want it to go away. And this currently is in our bedroom of our new home. This is under a grow light, which you can see the pole back there. It's just a lamp that I've put a grow light, Sansi grow light in. And it has worked out great for these guys over here. But this over here is just looking dead and pointless. And so I would like to free up this space, take this shelf out and place, something better here that would actually be beneficial to our bedroom. Now, again, I have a whole setup on this and you can definitely go back and watch my previous videos because I purchased grow lights to go under this. And again, each shelf of this had plants on it. They had plants all along the top and it was really beautiful. And maybe I'll show a video of that here. And I really loved it. But since moving and all of those things, it just doesn't fit my area anymore. And it really needs to make its way out to my garage so that I can organize some of my pottery. So that is half of this, is organizing this, then organizing my pottery outside because it's become a mess since we moved. There's just no organization with pots and things like that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through, see what we have left here on the shelf even, and then move it on out, say goodbye to it. Before I do, I will show you possibly the plants that I have had on it for in the time that we've moved here. But this is a, wow, I can't even think of it. This is an Mandula pothos, there we go, but it's the mutant version and really fun plant. It's finally started to grow, as you can see there. It's starting to crawl along, climb, and it took a very long time for this thing to grow even that much. Like, this is a size pot that I got it in. I did not change the pot size at all. It's just this that has started to grow. So it took a very, very long while to grow, but I do not have any humidity around it. The white leaves stay white. This is the only leaf that has had an issue, and I'm not really sure why. These all, though, look perfect and beautiful and great and creamy. And I really like the plant. I think it's very interesting. Now I just want it to take off and become something a little bit larger. But this is going to stay with me. It just needs to go into my office now. This plant right here, I have thoughts about it. I want to keep it, but then again, I don't want to keep it. So this is my Scindapsus exotica. It gets really large leaves. It's a very beautiful Scindapsus. If you want a large leaf Scindapsus, how many times can I say that? I would go for the exotica. So the Pictus is a small silvery and they're the small leaves and they are very beautiful, but these guys get really massive. And actually I did a walkthrough video just previously a few weeks ago, and they had massive leaves on the ones that they were selling, as big as my hand. So beautiful plant, easy to care for, does need a lot of light though. So if you can give it the light, then you've got it made. But if you can't give it the light, it will be very unhappy. So I'm kind of, for that reason, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this. If I'm just going to toss it, I have propagated it so many times, so it's very easy to propagate, just as all philodendron and Scindapsus usually are. But it just, I don't know, it's looking a little sad now because I have propagated it and cut it back so much to just try and keep it together. I've started this. That's dead. I've started this plant over probably 3 times, genuinely, and it just keeps coming back even stronger. So they are very hardy plants, very beautiful foliage. And yeah, I don't know what I should do with it. Also, if I'm talking weird, it's because I stabbed myself with my toothbrush. It really hurts. This just needs to be thrown away. I purchased a new string of hearts variegated, and too much. And I've kept it in my window in my office. This guy is coming back, but I repotted it and it just totally just dropped off. Nothing, no good. But it's hanging on by a thread, so that kind of makes me sad to get rid of it. But if I can see this, okay, maybe I should do a different video of this, but see this right here? This is a tuber. And that guy has grown so much since potting it into this. That is what they grow off of. So they come off of these tubers and then they sprout new leaves. This once was a very beautiful vining plant, but unfortunately, just through lack of care and the move, I'm blaming everything on the move. I just haven't done anything with it. It hasn't gone any further, and has actually just declined. So I hesitate because it is a very beautiful little foliage that it does have, but at the same time, really, am I going to waste my space for it? I'm not sure. One that will absolutely be staying with me is my I wanted to say heteroseum, and it is. It's a philodendron, just the heart leaf philodendron, but it's the variegated form. Got this last 2 years ago. 2 years ago now, wow. And it's kind of been a difficult to grow plant for me. I haven't quite figured out its need. It is easy to propagate. I have propagated it. I have propagations of it. Did I put them all in here? I might have actually put them back in the pot in a video. It is a pretty variegation. I just can't get it to really grow very fast at all whatsoever. So it's a very slow grower, but I'll absolutely be keeping it. Another keeper is my jungle boogie. And so I don't know where I'm going to put this at because it's kind of wild, as you can see. Yeah, it needs to climb something. But I just don't have the room for another moss pole, as you can see back there. But I will be keeping this. I have loved this guy. I've had it for a very long while. And it's a very fun, easy to grow for just plant that really you can neglect and kind of just let it go, and it does this. This is my propagation of my gold stardust pilea, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, it'll focus on it at all whatsoever, but I am not convinced that this is worth keeping, along with all of these propagations in here. So I have, now some of them are, so I have an esqueleto. It's going to go away. My mother plant's fine. It's growing. This was a test. I did it off of a wet stick propagation, and it did. It took, that's great. This is a Hoya that I have over here, and honestly, I will probably just pot them up together. This now will be staying. This is a Monstera aurea cutting. I took a stem cutting from it, and it has propagated and done really well. I have another one over here that's growing and doing well, so I will take those and keep them. And then two other ones that I'm probably not going to do anything with are the Syngonium. Now this is a Syngonium albo. However, you can see here, this is the albo. This is unvariegated, so I don't really have any plans for that or to keep it. But this guy, I don't know. It's kind of a in between. I like how it's all white and it's really pretty, but I have a really big one. Okay, you can't see it. It's back there. And so it would be pointless to propagate this little baby and put it in with it, but I might just do it alone. And then I have Stanleyana albo, and it's all white. So it's just going to go in the trash because it's not going to make it. And then I have a mystery cutting over here. I really don't know what it's from. Again, all of these were wet sticks that I just took off of my plants to see if they would, root. And they are rooted, and I don't know what this one is. But I don't know. I should have maybe put a label on it. I don't know what this guy is right here. Does not look to have any variegation or any signs. It does have a pink stem, which leads me to believe that maybe it is a painted lady philodendron, because I did at one point take cuttings of those. So that could very well be what that is. I don't think I have any other rare or uncommon plants in here other than my Monstera aurea, my Esqueleto, and then the Scindapsus or the Syngonium albo. And then I do have an Epiprimnum albo that has been growing right here. but I have a big, you can see that right there. That's an Epipremnum albo growing up that moss pole. So I'm not going to worry about it. They are very difficult to propagate. And so I'm happy that this propagated. Maybe I should keep it just for that fact. But I don't know. Not sure. So those are my propagations. Then these are just random plants, truly. This is my Soderoy philodendron. It doesn't look like Soderoy, but it is a Soderoy. Yeah, I took it out of my greenhouse cabinet, and it's not really loving its life right now, but it's holding on. And I really do want to hold on to it because it is such a unique plant that's very difficult to find. And it's a beautiful little foliage, but this is hilarious. This is like a bush. So I actually cut it back 2 years ago and started growing it again. And I can't remember why, if it got spider mites or something happened with it. And this is what it's come to. So this looks more like a vining bush than a philodendron Soderoy. Looks like a little ivy, but it definitely is. Now this is the Hoya that I was talking about that I propagated in that box. So I'm probably just going to take those cuttings and place them in here. This is special to me because a friend of mine let me take cuttings from her grandmother's who had just passed. It was like 50, I don't even remember, Hoya. And so I'm definitely going to hold on to this. I've held on to it for probably 3 years now, and it's grown from a little small cutting to this. So definitely going to keep that and let it grow. It's done really well under these grow lights, so I will have to find a highlight situation for it. Another plant that's like, do I really need this? This is my, what are you? Not an Amedrium. No, you're a Tenanthe or, yeah, you might be a Tenanthe, Stramanthe, Calathea, Maranta. I think it's a Tenanthe. It is an Amagris Tenanthe. And so beautiful plant, love it a lot. But as you can see, you got to keep up on your watering. I'm telling you, with these guys, they just need a lot of water. And if you don't, crispy happens and it will pop back. I mean, look at the growth. There's nothing wrong with it, but it is kind of hilarious. I do have another Tenanthe, and it's a Burley Marks. And so maybe I pop them up together. That way it's one plant. I don't have to take care of two. I don't know. Another plant that I will absolutely not be parting with is this neon philodendron. I know exactly where this is going to go. It's going to go in my hanging plant pulley system that I just created. I think that it will be beautiful because look how long it is. I love this plant. I won't get rid of it. Hopefully it doesn't die on me, but it's incredibly easy to care for, very common, and it is a beautiful foliage. Look at that. It's just the chartreuseness, and some of them are like a little bit more yellow. It's a very beautiful plant, easy to grow. Holding on to it for as long as it'll let me. And really that's it. That's all the plants that I had left on this shelving unit. So I'm going to now take you to my office and we're going to see if I can find a place for all of these. Okay, bringing them all in here to my office. Okay, so this is my Amagris that I was talking about. And this is the Tenanthe Burley Marks that I've got. Sorry, the lighting's really bad. Okay, there it goes. This is the Burley Marks. No, this is a Calathea. Is it a Calathea? I think it's a Calathea. And this is a Tenanthe. What's the difference between them? Really, truly couldn't tell you. But they grow the same way. They're a bush plant. Need a lot of water, shade plant, all of that good stuff. But it is a really beautiful pattern. And that's what always grabs you on the Calathea, Maranta, Tenanthe, Stramanthe. Beautiful. Okay, so these shelves I made in a video in my kitchen. Wow, the light is really bad. Everybody's so loud. Look at that. Okay, so I made these shelves in a previous video. The lighting is just really bad. Well, it's not going to get any better than this. But anyways, made it in a previous video. Really love them, so I put them in my office. I've made 2 of them instead of 1 versus my kitchen. And so I'm going to see what plants I can place in here as my husband talks very loudly. Yeah, I'm filming. Look up what this plant is. This is a Hoya. Can't remember what it's called. I've got 3 Hoya currently. This is one of them. I just purchased it from the Tipsy Gardener because I've had it before. It starts with an M. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember what it's called, but look. No.
Just kidding. Macrophylla.
Yeah.
It's a macrophylla.
Yeah, macrophylla. Hoya.
Albovirid.
I've got this guy, and then I have a Hoya carrii that is in my shelf in my kitchen. And so I'm going to put these both here. This is like a north-facing window, I think. So it's a very good light source. But in the window is great. This is where they will stay. Up here, I also have my Scindapsus aurea, variegated. Got really unhappy with me when I moved it out of my greenhouse to normal conditions, but this is a new leaf and it looks to be good. And there is a new leaf right here that will be coming out. So I think it'll balance itself out. These two plants I've held on to. This is a summer glory. I already have a summer glory in my bedroom. And then this is a epiprimnum marble. Epiprimnum marble. I have one right there. And so I needed to pot it up together. However, this one was not as well rooted as that one was. So I think I'm going to move it under like one of those lights. That way I can clear up that space and not have two small little plants. What else do we got? We have my Rio, what's left of it. Also, I got these really cute little planters from Walmart for very cheap. They were like $4 or something, maybe even not that. But this is a Rio. You can see the little variegation there. And then this is a painted lady. So I actually chopped back, like what I said earlier, chopped back my painted lady, started it all over again, and it's growing back really nicely. Then this is one of my most prized possession plants. This is my mammee eye. I really loved my mammee eye a lot in our old home, and it was so beautiful, and it was climbing, it had really big leaves, and then it just got really unhappy with me, and I have started it over again. I didn't even know I had this cutting until I started clearing out my greenhouse and found it, so I was very excited. I do have another part of it in my bathroom, actually. However, it's just not as happy and does not look as good, and probably will bite the dust at some point. You can tell that this did get thrips at one point. Look at that. See that right there? That's thrips. You can tell also by the undersides how coppery that is in person. So it did have, a pest, and I had to treat it. Not really sure when, but this is good news because it's all looking good now. The plants that I'm definitely going to place in here are my Mandula Pothos mutant. Definitely going up here. Definitely gonna obviously place my Burley Marks up there. Don't know why. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but whatever. It'll stay there. I guess I'm for now gonna place that one up there too. As hilarious as it is. Some of these need pots. Now these plants will not fit up there. It's too large. These are in really large pots. So I'm going to need to figure out where to put these guys. And again, I'm sure that I'm just going to toss this or give it to a friend. I'll probably pot it up in something a little smaller, take out all the old parts to it because there are just like, this doesn't need to be there. And then I will, give it away or something like that. Now these plants right here, I'm probably just going to stick under my grow lights as much as I don't want to, but I'm going to. Next to my beautiful orchids over here that are both blooming. Let's show these for a minute. Look how beautiful these little blooms are. This was all done by me. Okay. I cut it all back and I have a whole video about it, and they have both rebloomed, and it's beautiful and I really love them. Okay. All of these plants I've went through already. They just need to stay where they're at. Putting trays underneath all of these. Oh, it's too much. Too many plants. Said no one ever. Plants that I have up here, like this one is my Philodendron Petrucciae. It's doing really well. It did have a little bit of a deformed leaf there. Not sure what happened, but it grows pretty consistently. And I'm very happy with that because I got this in Florida last year. All right, well, you're going to hear, children in the background because apparently my sound cut out at this point. This is where I placed my Philodendron Neon, and then I have a Pothos Enjoys and Jade, Pearls and Jade below it, but I also put my Ring of Fire Philodendron. I'm not really sure if it's going to stay there. It needs a pole or some sort of stability for it. But I've got my Billietier, my Jose Bono, and my Maranta over there. This corner, we're going to talk about that later. But this is where I placed my variegated heartleaf philodendron, and I have a few other plants that were once in my greenhouse cabinet and are out here now. My bigger Rio, my other Hoya carrii I was talking about, and my Anthurium pallitiflorum. I also have my Philodendron gloriosum, which now I have 3, and I don't need 3. And then my jewel orchid sits over here. I just repotted it. Kind of looks sad, but it'll be okay. It also came out of my greenhouse. And then here is my Calathea orbifolia. I repotted it most recently, or in my most recent videos, and it's doing fine. Like, it looks very sad. It lost a lot of foliage, but it does have one new leaf growing at the bottom, and it makes me happy to see that it's growing. However, I think it needs to go. I'm not really sure. This is a hard one for me because I don't want it anymore. It takes up too much space, but I was really proud of how it came. Alright, and here comes a fall repot with, again, me not realizing that my mic is off.
Hi, Hattie.
That was a shout out for my sister if she watches my videos, which she doesn't, so she'll never hear that. But anyways, I'm going to repot some of these plants, consolidate them, and just place them in smaller pots if they need be. But yeah, let's just, I don't even know what's happening right now because, again, my mic's off. The cat is still here though. That is good news. But first off, we're going to start with my Monstera aurea. That is the mother plant, and then everything that I show from here are cuttings that I have taken off of it and propagated. Now these have all done very well, and I'm very pleased because it's an uncommon, expensive plant. So I'm now going to take them all and pot them up together. I was really hoping to use this same terracotta pot. However, upon taking it out of the pot, I realized that that's just too many roots to soil ratio, or too much, and so it really does need a larger pot. Okay, let's see what we can do here because I could not find a pot big enough. I found this pot, which I DIY'd at one point on my Instagram. This was a $5 pot from Walmart last season, and I antiqued it. I spray painted it and made it look like plaster. Or I have this larger pot that I know will fit it, but then it's like, what do I put around this? Because I don't like ugly pots. So I think I'm going to try this pot and just go with it. I wanted to do this with a vining plant, preferably place it in this pot, but I don't know what else to do. So we're going to just take this out, put that in there, keep this pot over here. It's like pot roulette. Then place all these guys back. I wish this was full and like a little bit more foliage is what I was going to say until my mic again died. But this is what it's going to look like. It's going to stay in this larger terracotta pot. I, again, stated I DIY'd this. I have an Instagram reel that I just posted today. That would be Monday. I don't even know what date. But this plant, it will be fine in here. I have fit all of the propagations, including the ones from my propagation box that I took out of my bedroom. So now hopefully it will grow into one large, lush Monstera aurea. I have mentioned it several times on my channel, if you are new here, that I love the Monstera aurea. I love the aurea in general. I really love the greens and the creams and the yellows versus the whites. So I'm very excited that this plant has grown to what it has off of all of the propagations. As you can see here, I'm pulling the 2 smallest ones off of out of my propagation box. I have not had an issue with the watering on this guy. My Thai, I do have a problem with watering, but the Monstera aurea, I treat it the same way as a Monstera deliciosa. I let it dry all the way out and it does perfectly fine. It does sit on the top of my shelving unit with a Sansi clip light, and so it does get that high quote-unquote light from a grow light. Okay, so the next plant that I am going to pot up is this Hoya. I think it's a Carnosa, but I really am not sure. Maybe I'll post a picture of the bloom here and somebody can tell me. But this is the plant that I got from a friend. And so I'm just going to pot up all of the cuttings that I had from my propagation box with this mother plant, which also was another cutting that I took. It's just that one rooted for whatever reason faster, and I will just combine them and make one plant. So I'm not having to water a bunch of little plants. Now, I had these 2 smaller plants that I talked about, along with a few other little propagations that I'm just not sure what to do with. It's not that I want to get rid of them, but I also don't want to give them a single pot for the little plant that they are. So I decided to pot them up all together. So now I have my Syngonium albo, my summer glory philodendron, my Epiprimnum marble, and my little Pilea gold variegated stardust, or whatever it was called, in one pot. Well, that's going to be a bummer because I didn't realize my mic was off. But this is my plant medley, and I will only have to water 1 plant. So that is really it for this video. And now I need to take my shelving unit, put it out in my garage, clean up all my pottery, and the spring cleaning continues. That's it for this video because my mic kept dying, so we will see you next time.